What if I told you that right now, in this very moment, that you have more opportunity in front of you than at any other time in history? More chances to create wealth, more chances to create freedom, and more chances to build a life on your terms. And yet, most business owners and CEOs and entrepreneurs, they are struggling. They feel overworked, overwhelmed, and are stuck in a cycle of stress, burnout, and self sabotage. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could work less and gain more results? What if you could have more success with less stress? What if you could build a business that gives you more money, more time, more energy, and more freedom without sacrificing your health or your relationships? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you inside to become the 21st century entrepreneur through this 3-day challenge. And the best part, it's completely free. This is why I believe that you need this now, because the sad truth is that most entrepreneurs are playing the game the old way. They are grinding 24/7, thinking hard work alone will lead to success. They're chasing the money only to lose their health, relationships, and their happiness. They're trapped in a constant cycle of stress, burnout, self doubt, and frustration. Now, listen, I've seen this firsthand, and I've been hired and I've coached world famous CEOs, world champion athletes, movie stars, singers, and celebrities who, from the outside, looked like they had it all, but behind the scenes, they were struggling. Why? Because they never learned the new way of doing business, a way that allows you to build a thriving business while protecting your energy, your health, and your sanity to unlock more creativity, more productivity, and more impact without burning out, to be able to break free from fear, procrastination, imposter syndrome, and self sabotage. This is the 21st century way of doing business. This is how you create success that lasts. This is what I'm going to teach you in this 3-day challenge. Now, here's your solution and what you're going to get. Over the 3 transformational power sessions, we're going to come together live for about 90 powerful minutes every day. And I'm going to be walking you through so that you can create your own customized IMAP. That's an intelligent, massive action plan. This is the same system that I've used where I learn how to have more energy, more passion, more freedom than ever before, even at almost 52 years old. I literally feel like I'm just getting started. I get to travel the world, take on new adventures, and keep growing year after year. I get to build a life that is not just about making money, but about making an impact. And now I want to gift this to you. Why? Because I believe that you were born for more, because the world needs more entrepreneurs who know how to create success without destroying themselves in the process. And because this one decision to show up for this challenge could be the turning point that changes everything for you. But here's the deal: opportunities like this don't wait. You either step forward and claim your future, or you stay stuck in the same cycle, hoping for change that never comes. This is your moment. All you have to do is click the link, register now, and show up ready to take action. And remember this: if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So let's make sure that your plan is one that gives you the success, the money, the freedom, and the life you truly deserve. So click the link, get registered, and I'll see you inside the challenge. This is your time. This is your future. This is the moment where everything changes, and I'll see you on the inside. So click the link and register now.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so I'm loving today's subject. It's why weak leadership is costing you everything, and how we're going to fix it. So let me know, where are you coming in from? Where are you beaming in from? Let me know a name, let me know a country. Let me see, where are you going to be coming in from today? And I'm going to be giving you the 3 top things that are really screwing people up when it comes to leadership, because leadership is everything. Even if you're in business by yourself, if you want to get in business, if you're already in business, if you're working on the business, whatever it is, you got to understand that what the world is calling out for is not more followers, it's more leaders. The whole world is in a state of panic right now. It's going crazy. And we need people who can step up and start to find the solutions. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you these 3 nuggets today, and I'm going to give you the solutions to these 3. But please do remember that we're leading up to Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we're going to be going through our 3-day challenge. This is where you're going to learn how to become the 21st century entrepreneur, because through these 3 days, what's going to give you the edge? What's going to make it different than probably all the other things that you've tried? It's going to be your IMAP, your Intelligent Massive Action Plan. Now, let me know, where are you coming in from? And tell me, are you going to come and join us on Tuesday to create your IMAP, your Intelligent Massive Action Plan? Because here's what I want to say, that you might understand that this is where I'm at, Skip. This is exactly where I'm at in my business. This is where I want to get to. It's got to be a climb. It's got to be a stretch. But without your IMAP, you could get lost on that journey. You could get sacrificed on that journey if you're not understanding leadership at the highest levels. Now, the number one trap, in fact, I'll give you 3 traps that people fall in when it comes to really bringing in a lack of leadership, because it's everything. So the first one is, if the leader isn't strong, whether it's the manager, whether it's somebody who's in charge of a department, whether it's the owner, it doesn't matter who it is. You need to find strong people, and it begins with you. So I'm talking about you first, because you can't expect other people to do what you're not going to do. You've got to lead by example. So the first trap that people fall in when there's weak leadership is they have lack of direction and vision. Now, what does it mean? You've got to create the big vision of where you want people to go. You want them going there with the best energy. You don't want them going there and being stressed out. You don't want them going there and clashing with other team people, or you don't want to be clashing inside. So the challenge with that is, without strong leadership, the whole team, it has a lack of a clear vision. So they don't know where to go. And then what happens is they've got a lack of direction. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, you'll have employees feeling lost. They'll feel disengaged with what they're doing. They'll completely feel uncertain as in what their role is, what they can get grip of. And the whole productivity, it just starts to go down. And then what goes down with that? Confidence, energy, all of that stuff. It starts to go on this downward spiral. Now, what other problems does it bring up? Well, without that lack of vision and that lack of direction, what's going to happen is the whole decision making is going to be reactive instead of proactive. When it's proactive, it means that you're in that planning phase. In that planning phase, it means, right, we've got to create this product, we've got to launch this idea, we've got to launch this business, service, whatever it might be. The challenge is, if you're not in that proactive state where you've thought, right, what is let's get down everything that can go wrong. And whether you like Donald Trump or not, one of the things that I do love from him is he says, right, when they're launching something, let's think of everything that can go wrong and come up with a contingency plan for every single thing. Now, what's that doing? Is being military, that you're going to get success. You're going to get the target. You're going to achieve exactly what you want to achieve. Now, if you're not proactive in that planning phase, I can guarantee everyone's going to be led to confusion. You'll miss opportunities that people didn't see because they're just reacting to stuff. What we got to stop doing is these knee-jerk reactions, because what happens is the emotions start to go up and the intelligence starts to go down. Now, what then happens is, from that, trap 2 starts to get going. And what's in trap 2? Trap 2, where there's low morale. This is where your employees stop connecting in good ways. And this whole lack of leadership, it ends up going to a lack of motivation among the whole team. And it just brings the whole vibe down because they haven't got the right guidance. They haven't got the right support. They're not getting the right recognition. Now, team members, when that happens, they start to feel undervalued, they start to feel uninspired, and they're rocking up with that energy. And I can tell you now, it's always a lack of leadership. Always, 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 always. Now, what can that do? That can then lead to a high turnover in your staff. That leads to a toxic work environment. It's just all negative. Now, what does that do? That then starts more momentum, and that then goes to trap number 3. What's trap number 3? This is where there's ineffective communication and collaboration. Leadership is all about communication. Effective leaders, they know how to communicate well. Now, leadership, it's essential for setting like all communication standards, and you got to understand that those standards, they start to produce and foster teamwork. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. You can't do it without the team. And if that team is just you to begin with, great. If you've got more people, you got to start to pull the greatness out of others. So without it, miscommunication, it conflicts, and just all types of toxic stuff can start to get developed. So what then happens is you'll have a team of employees, and they're going to struggle to work in harmony with each other. They're going to start to have project delays. They're not going to hit their deadlines. There'll be misunderstandings within the group. Frustration starts to rise up, pointing the finger, blame, and all of that is happening in what I call a low frequency. Now, we can get swallowed up in the details, who's right, who's wrong, and all of this stuff. You're dealing with the minute stuff. What we've got to understand more than anything is the energy that you're taking on. Now, good leadership, the first thing that they bring in is a good energy. Without that good energy, you're just not going to keep finding solutions. You're not going to overcome the challenges that leaders overcome. Now, what we've got to do is number 1, because that lack of direction and that vision, the solution is simple. Now, if you're staying with me, I'll give you the solution. The solution is simple. All you got to do is establish a clear strategy. Without you getting strategic, I can tell you now, you're not going to win the game. The whole world is getting strategic. And if your strategies is always to add value, is always to keep going, is never to give up, I can promise you now, you will hit the target. So I have the fortune of sharing this stuff with famous CEOs, people who've been on the front cover of Forbes magazine. Why would they come to me? I don't know their industry. But what I know is how to get the most out of this. And if you get the most out of what you're living in, I can tell you now, your business is going to boom. That's why on Tuesday, I'm offering this 3-day challenge to become the 21st century entrepreneur. And we're going to be creating your IMAP. Now, within it is some of the things that I'm talking about. So you've got to lead by example. It's so fundamental, not just to be telling people what to do. Because what's happening now is we're getting people in these leadership roles, but they don't know how to lead. And they start bossing people around. They start trying to have people, they're trying to cover up stuff. There's hidden agendas. And ultimately, all this stuff is just wasting time, wasting money, wasting energy, just wasting everything. So by rocking up and leading by example, it's one of the things I'm going to be doing is you imagine you becoming the 21st century entrepreneur. I mean, think about it. What does that even look like to you? Like for me, it's someone who's super happy, super healthy, super energized, doing what I love, inspiring other people, making other people's lives better, living a great quality of life, loving what I do in my personal life, loving what I do in my private life. Like we just got back from hitting the slopes over in Chamonix at Mont Blanc, and it was a last minute decision just to go. And I was like, oh my God, the weather's perfect out there. Now's the time. But we did it, and it was just amazing. This is what I want for you, where you can just decide to do what you want, when you want, with who you want. Now, you've got to lead by example. Now, you've got to demonstrate the values. You've got to demonstrate your work ethic. You've got to demonstrate and have a dedication that aligns with the company's vision. Because if you're not in alignment with the company vision, you're going to be pulling in different directions. So you've got to get in alignment with that company vision. Then got to make sure that there's encouragement, innovation, and adaptability. Now, what does that mean? That you start to learn how to empower employees, where you help them to take the initiative to contribute to ideas that align with the business objectives. You'd be amazed at what magic is in everyone. I love this. When I started to really study, don't stay with me now. When I used to study Ascended Masters, what they would say is they see the person in front of them not in all their problems, in all of their glory, all of their full potential. Now think about it. What if everyone that you was in business with gave you their full potential, and you gave your full potential? What a game changer. What a total game changer. Now, what then happens is that low morale and employees like disengaging with each other. Well, again, what's the solution to that? The solution is that you foster a supportive work culture. It's where you start to recognize and appreciate your employees, your team. You acknowledge their contributions. You start to celebrate their achievements. You start to provide constructive feedback instead of just going, "No, it's not right, it's wrong." Like just bringing in negative vibes. No, no, no. Let's get loving and supportive. It's all about leadership, my friends. So then you can get yourself into a position where you start to provide growth opportunities. This is where you start to offer training, mentorship, career development and programs. You enhance their skills. You start to motivate them. You start to give them more force through them. And what does it contribute to the bigger picture? Now, what do you also learn how to do? Encourage open communication. Now, what does that mean? You've got to create a culture where employees, they start to feel comfortable voicing their concerns and suggestions and ideas. It's so important that they feel, and you want to know what's within them. The last thing you want is to not know what's going on from the inside. Clarity is power, my friend. You want to be clear on what's going on with your team. And then the third thing is that ineffective communication and the collaboration. What's the solution to that? You've got to implement strong communication practices. You can't just expect them to do this stuff. You've got to teach them how to do it. So how do we do it? Well, first of all, you're going to establish clear communication channels where you start to have structured meetings. You start to get digital tools involved with stuff so people can be held accountable. You start to become transparent. You start messaging all your teams to make sure that they're staying aligned. It's so important that you start to understand, right, where is your leadership going to have an impact? Now, you'll learn to encourage teamwork and cross-functional collaboration. That's where you start to build a culture that values all the shared responsibility and the collective problem solving. You should never have to go and solve a problem by yourself. You got to understand, right, here's a market, here's what our value to the marketplace is. Become the best at what you do and start to grow and expand, because life wants to breathe more through you. So this is where you start to develop emotional intelligence in leadership. And this is really where the game changes. This is where effective leaders, they will actively listen. And you can see effective leaders a mile off because they actually pay an interest in the people that's in front of them. They start to show empathy and they start to resolve all of these conflicts constructively. Now, that may sound like a lot for one little post, but we're going to go into that deeper on this 3-day challenge. That's why I want to be able to spend more time with you. There's going to be a link around here. You can click the screen, you can get it in the bio. And we're going to be spending 90 minutes a day together. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's the 21st Century Entrepreneur 3-day challenge. And I will be squeezing you. I'm going to get you focused. You will come out of this with your own IMAP, with your intelligent, massive action plan. It's going to be your map to success, my friend, because you're going to keep being able to go within to find solutions that are within you, not in a world that's breaking down. You're going to be solution hardwired, my friend. So I really do. I hope that you got some value from today's live. If you did, like it, share it, comment below. Let me know what value did you get. And remember, Tuesday, 6:30, 3 days, the 21st Century Entrepreneur 3-Day Challenge. So from now till then, live strong, live healthy, live long. Make sure you live now with the nutrients, oxygen, and water. And for now, at it.